But the thing is, it is one of those maps where Vision Strikers are incredibly strong, so I don't know. It's definitely a little bit of a worry. It looks like we're right into the pistol round, though.
Yes, we are. Vision Strikers are on the attacking side here on ICEBOX, and luckily we're seeing the more traditional comms, your Sages, for example, coming out. Now, Starzo is going to be popping a wall up right away that basically blocks them from coming into the site. Not one you'll see all too often, and especially on a pistol. It can be so impactful, because it's so hard to break it with pistols.
Like, no. Yeah, you want to plant it, you got to walk around it. You got to try and find another way, but for now, at least, well, they are going to take that control. Screen going back up. Not really anybody there to hold the cross. You can see the rotation coming in from CNED as well. Just have a little bit of a spot, but by the looks of it, this might just be a little bit of a ruse as they're slowly breaking their way through the wall, but I think they're going to go back. Yep.
Basically, at the start of this round, they commit their wall, they commit their drone. You have to get something for it. So it's in breaking the wall and moving forward that you keep those players rotated into position. Now, Vision Strikers will look towards the A side. And on the back of the site is Zeke. He has a Viper wall to support him, just now coming up. Double shock darts in, not finding any sort of damage over on the Ascend side. Now, as they push through the wall, that's where the damage should be done. But Zeke falls. 10 seconds left. The plant needs to come in. And with those 2 kills for King, the plant will come in.
Yeah, it seems like his form isn't stopping, even with only seconds left on the clock. They get the plant, and now it's left all onto Bone Cold and Starzo. I almost feel like this just becomes an attempt to try and farm up some. Oh, unless he finds a couple of kills like that. A nice attempt from Bone Cold, but Starzo, it just needs to be a little bit cleaner if he's going to have a way back into this one, not finding any of the frags. And Mako is there to give Vision Strikers another pistol.
Well, that was a little bit unexpected, I will say. Bone Cold, when it comes to these pistols, he just seems to be untouchable. And I'm not against it. Maybe, you know, coming into the next round, drop him a ghost, see what he can do with it. His headshots are on point.
Yeah, I like the fact that they basically just had everything prepared for someone to be in that corner. You see the snakebite drop just before they get into the site. Obviously, then Zeke basically has to hit the instant headshot and get out of there, and that's not going to happen every single time. So for now, at least, we're going to see 1-0.
Yes, indeedy. 1-0 in favor of Vision Strikers, getting off to a good start on this map. They certainly did on the opening, going their way. They're up against weaker weapons, but Bone Cold, hey, I said give the man a ghost. They went straight in for the Sheriff, and it's worked out. An immediate opening duel for him traded back, as they'll now look to seize that weapon and a little bit more control as they push down middle. But Mako, excuse me, is sat there waiting.
Spike planted.
He's in a good spot. Realistically, there's not much invested into this round. I'm looking at the Marshal of CNED as a potential damage dealer, but they don't really have the positioning to get themselves back into the round as a whole. And in fact, I wonder if this might just turn into an attempt to play for some exits.
It could well be. With the weapons that they've picked up, they have a good shot of doing some damage. As Vision Strikers look to leave the site, just make sure that this is a costly one, but Zeke is now deleted, and so the back site is going to be secured. They know that spawn is clear. Buzz will sacrifice his life there, but it's worthwhile just to ensure there's nobody defusing. Bone Cold hits another shot to put them on 3 kills, and look, all things considered, pretty positive round for Ascend, and again, it comes off the back of Bone Cold's pistol.
Yeah, and they don't even, one of the players that survived didn't even have a weapon. So they've actually come through this round with 1 weapon. It really isn't a good round at all for Vision Strikers. So if there was going to be a chance for Ascend to break back a little early, they're also one of those teams that are incredibly good on the attacking side as well. But what I will say is you can put that in for Vision Strikers too. We saw that even going up against Paper X, it was a little bit shaky when it came to the second half. Or the first half, it'd be the second half here.
Absolutely, yeah. I have to say, Bone Cold impresses me every single time. And for those that don't know, this guy is IGLing the team.
Yep.
He's playing a controller, so often he's not going to be the one putting himself in positions to take aggression. And he's hitting shots like that with pistols in hand. Now, coming out of Ascend right away, thanks to the 5 kills that Bone Cold already has, no one else has any frags over on the Ascend side. They have that Viper's Pit, and it's used to defend A immediately, giving them pretty much guaranteed control. I'm surprised there's still 2 players here. One watching up above, I suppose, but they can't really cross with the way that ult is put down.
Yeah, if you try and go across the top, your feet are going to show, and you're going to get sprayed down. Now, for now, we're going to see the drop put through, but they're going to pressure on to Killers. The timing couldn't be any worse. No one left to defend him, and now they're going to make that split through from behind. This ultimate becomes so much less valuable. Bone Cold almost has to try and get a little bit more aggressive, and he's already been shut down. There's only 2 players left, Mitch, for Ascend, and this round is falling apart.
Well, CNET at least has good timing, but he's spotted out and taken down. Oh, well, he got there in good timing, but the jump up was so poor. Starzo is left alone, hasn't even got his wall to play with here, so it's not like he can put the barrier orb down and take the defuse. Instead, he is pretty much going to have to go for a save. The one rifle remaining on that defensive side, and Vision Strikers, despite a little bit of a shaky second round, will easily walk away with the third.
Yeah, and that's a huge worry. Like, you have to look at this as normally one of the bonus rounds, the round we almost guarantee over to the other side. And wow, even just in some of the battles, things are looking a little bit more rough for Ascend than we normally see. 3-0, not going to be much into the next round either. And Bone Cold still the only one with a kill.
This is a really interesting fight as well. For those people that, you know, let me put it this way. Shout out to all my ranked Jets, the ones that we meet, because all they can do is buy a Marshall or an AWP and dash out when they hit the shot. That's what they think a Jet is, because when you look at the highlights, that's what you see. Oh, CNET, oh, Buzz, look at him doing. That's what a good Jet is, though. Buzz, as soon as they spot that the drone is coming down middle, he goes dashing in, knowing that there's a good chance that that guy will kill him, but his 2 teammates coming behind, he's 100% certain will trade him out and give them that valuable map control. This guy is willing to lay his life down, and that's why we saw him be a participant in so many opening duels in the previous map, and by the looks of it, in this one too.
Yeah, and he won 40% of the total opening duels. So it's not like he was losing them. I think the only person close was Zeke with 6 and everybody else at about 1. So yeah, it's been a rough one. And for CNED, it's not getting any better so far. Shut down again, it's RB to kick off the round. Of course, it's a minute investment this time for Ascend, and while we know that what a difference the operator can make for CNED, and I'm hoping now that will be something that comes through in the next round.
Yeah, this is definitely not a round to really worry about at all. Vision Strikers, again, should be walking out cleanly. But the trouble man is going to be Bone Cold, based on what we've seen so far. He's taken down immediately on range, and that round ends as quickly as you like. Only a lick of damage taken for Vision Strikers as they push to 4 with a Prime Gaming flawless. Plenty of cash now in their accounts.
Yeah, I'm hoping this round someone else on Ascend will get a kill.
It would be nice, actually.
I'm not asking for much, lads. Nice. Like, come on. We're expecting this to be the game of the day, a close battle, and so far Vision Strikers have, yeah, they've made that one look a little bit easy. I love how people wait for an imaginary fist bump. Like, it's almost... It's one of the weirdest things I think I've ever seen someone do. Like, oh, he's not fake fist bumping me from across the room.
But look, it's going to be a lot of the time about keeping that synergy up, right? You gotta pretend you're sitting right next to them, even if you aren't. And that's certainly a lot closer than they were online. I don't think they were doing it there. That is an aggressive push out of Zeke, something we'll see from a lot of Reynas when it comes down to that A defense. But this time, he runs right into King.
Yeah, and that's now the Killjoy all expended as well. Chances are it's going to be a fairly simplistic afterplant for the side of Vision Strikers, and they've got quite a bit of utility for these afterplants. The shock dart's available, of course the nano swarm's also in for Killjoy, and that's not even talking about Viper, so this becomes a very scary prospect, and again, we're going to need to see a very quick kill for Ascend if they're even going to have a chance in this round.
The evolution of plan spots has been quite interesting, and we'll talk about that in a moment. For now, let's glance at the retake from Ascend, because it could be over pretty quickly. Killes taken down right away. Nano Swarm's used up just to keep them back a moment longer. CNET wants an opportunity. Starzo gets done trying to use his own util, and well, this round's already done and dusted. CNET might not even be able to get out of here alive. Stacks takes out the pistol at the wrong moment, but Buzz is up above. 5-0, Tom. And just on that plan spot, you know, you can't even spam through the box because they're using the wall to block you from peeking in heaven and to mean that they don't have to plant in that little corner at the green box where they can be spammed, but instead they use the site for cover. It's so nice.
This is not the game I was expecting. We've always known that Vision Strikers have been scary, but this is looking like an unstoppable force that I honestly think I don't know who would want to match up against them in the playoffs.
I will say, with the exception of Newturn and sort of the rumored Vision Strikers who then obviously never made it to the international stage, we always had the best in the West, right? You remember the Liquid G2 show match way back in the day? We would then talk about these guys against NA, your FPXs, all these kind of guys. The conversation has never focused on the East in terms of who are the best teams in the world. So to be honest, I don't mind that Vision Strikers come in and look dominant. If they 13-0 this, I don't think EMEA should be shedding a tear because we need more regions to step up and be the kings. Or at least challenge them. And here, Buzz is yet again finding opening tools. He might not find the first one, but he trades it back and finds the back site, allowing a clean plant out of Vision Strikers yet again, this time with a Viper's Pit to play inside.
Oh, he's missed them! Oh, no! All the knives have gone. It's just a classic scene. I don't know how he's still alive, I'll be honest. He's actually going to get a kill, and the Shock Dog's found another. This is not the round that should be going the way of Ascend, and it's starting to get a little bit scary. Still 2 players standing. After utility being placed, but Bone Cold's found another. It's left all onto Mako, and how is that the round they take away? It's pistols, it's CNED dancing through the Viper's Pit, and it is Vision Strikers, well, losing a round.
Hey, Sean, I got a challenge for you, man. You want to do a telestrator on that round? Because that was one of the most ludicrous. We don't see
Let's see how good you really are.
That is a true test, isn't it? We don't really see CNED miss shots. Right clicks up close with the Blade Storm, even less common to see. And this time, he not only misses it, but then makes it through the other side of the Viper's Pit, goes back in and ends up backstabbing. Bone Cold's killing people inside, and Mako does take down CNED because obviously they're inside the Viper's Pit. Snakebite goes down, but they still walk out with the round. This has been a curious round, an interesting one to say the least. The word.
It was round 6, Sean. Just in case you might have forgotten.
EVS, can you guys clip round 6 for Sean?
Set that one up for him.
No problem at all. Wow, here we go. Immediate aggression coming out of Vision Strikers.
That was short-lived.
Have got all the control over Kitchen. I mean, CNED's going to have to go huge over here, and he's even potentially going to get spotted out by that drone.
So much for them to still try and get through. This faster take has made it incredibly awkward, and they now have a crossfire ready. He's going to peek to make sure his teammate is safe, and they're just not winning any of these duels at the moment. Buzz not quite connecting this time, but it doesn't even matter. A 5 versus 2, CNED not even getting a chance to shoot off a bullet, and when he finally does, he's going to try and escape, and there's already a player behind him, Mitch.
Dead as can be. King takes that one from behind, and that was one of the most beautiful ICEBOX rounds that we have seen. Vision Strikers with start to finish, clean strategies, well executed. Look at the scoreboard. They're between 6 and 7 kills, and they're 6-1 up. This is a scary team to face off against. Another Prime Gaming flawless coming out, and that kitchen control was so well seized and so well held onto. As soon as it's planted, Buzz goes back, helps out Bone Cold, spots CNED with the op, and just tucks in a corner, and he's like, that's all right, dude. You can just hold this angle for the next 10 minutes. I don't mind. Spike's going to blow up.
Well, again, we're going to have a mixed bag of purchases. Bone Cold has been getting... Well, I think he has more kills than the rest of his team combined at this point. He's on at least 8. So the fact that he has a rifle here is not something I mind too much. CNED, he's not quite spotted out. The players, I think he's been seen by King. He's always watching and waiting, and they've seen the push all the way through. They're actually going to gamble that this means that the B site's a little bit more empty than it is, Mitch. There are currently 4 players here.
Yeah, because of that push up that CNED made, they were able to rotate in, and with the weaker weapons, of course, you're going to take those risks. Double openings already found. Zeke going out for more and finding it. Buzz is out of the round, dealt with at long last. It's been a while since we've seen anyone on Ascend step it up outside of Bone Cold, and now another hero is needed. Zeke, luckily, seems to be that one. 4 kills with the Guardian in hand, and a second round found for Ascend.
That was dirty. Like, we don't really see... Well, the Guardians used a bit. I know you're a big fan. You were calling for it to be used by absolutely everyone. Didn't really happen. But seeing Guardian 4Ks like that, that's a rarity.
On low buy rounds especially, and when you're playing as a Reyna, you hit that one-tap headshot, you're out of there.
Scream was doing it for a while.
He was indeed. And it's something that I really enjoy seeing. Something worth note, if you take out Bone Cold, before that round, the combined kills of Ascend were, it was either 3 or 4, I think it was 3. And Zeke comes out with a 4K. Now this could be the boost that they need to really get them back in the game.
Yeah, we have to hope at this stage. And there's going to be the dash across. Well, Zeke does at least get one. It's not the trade he would have wanted. No chance to dismiss away. And in fact, they're going to have the res to bring Mako back from the fray. So it really doesn't impact Vision Strikers at all. And Well, on the other side of things, Starzo does have his res, but he's actually walled off the teammate.
Yeah, this is going to be a little tough for ACEND to manage to get a res themselves. Sure, the map control is given back to them. The problem is the Hunter's Fury on RB. As soon as they attempt that, that's probably going to be popped, and he is stuck inside a tube. I mean, there's not very many places the guy can go. So that's going to be a concern for them as we move on through this round, but it looks like they are starting to shift down towards the mid control. Killjoy ultimate going to be put into play. It's going to force him towards the spawn. Killez pops his ulti though. It's going to take down the lockdown.
Got everything covered off. The spam through, not quite going to kill him. Mako, he's surviving. Incredibly low on HP, and they're not going to be able to take anyone out. In fact, most of the team are actually very low on the other side, so there's a good opportunity here for ACEND, even though they're a man down.
Now here comes the Hunter's Fury. The shock dart landing onto Buzz, though, is a big, big blow. RB not finding anything with it, and now the defuse starts to come on through. But again, the utility comes in. We've seen nano swarms, we've seen snake bites. Now we need to see fights. And CNED is taking them, but he runs out of teammates. Trying to get up on top of Yellow, make it away from these guys and get the final halfway defuse. But they land the shot through the smoke to put 7 on the board for Vision Strikers. A close one this time around, but ACEND just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, I feel bad for them in this stance, to be honest, because in reality they were just seconds away from killing off 1 or 2 players through that wall, and that really would have been the difference maker in this round. But it's these shots, these aggressive peaks, just hitting absolutely everything. The timing peaks, the trades coming out from Vision Strikers, they just seem so well regimented at this point. And yeah, sure, I feel like if ACEND get themselves up to like 4 or 5 rounds, they've got a good chance of bringing it back on the attack side. But this state at the moment, I'm not sure I believe in that.
Well, we've seen this from ACEND before. We've seen the Viper's Pit used up on the site, Zeke looking for a peek up above it. And actually a rotate coming out of CNED. It looked like he was going to go towards the A side. That would have really perplexed me. You pop a Viper's Pit and 3-man stack the site. Ludicrous. But instead, they are going to keep a very passive hold over B.
Yeah, Bonecold's actually been tagged up already, so a few spam shots could have removed that ultimate very early on, and he does have to be a bit careful. Now, this is almost just pack mentality. See, his aggression hasn't been too successful, but this time he's going to drop the spike. A catch from CNED in middle. He's starting to come into it. Oh! This is what this man does best. 3 kills to shut this round down. They really needed this one, and it is a Prime Gaming flawless, I'll be honest, out of nowhere.
Yeah. Quite frankly, that was unexpected. We saw the same setup, the same play from ACEND before, and they got absolutely destroyed on the walk through middle. Remember, that was the round where we saw the drone put out to try and clear down, Buzz dash through the smoke and take the control. This time, Vision Strikers try the same thing. They want to fight for middle, but they don't run into a Sova drone. They don't dash through. Instead, they find CNED hitting, well, some CNED shots.
It's good to see him back on the server, that's for sure. It's been a little bit of a quiet start for, well, basically the man we expect to be dominating. Zeke, again, battling for this control. We've seen a deeper screen actually put in over to A, so they can get that little bit more aggressive. And CNED, in fact, has now switched to B.
Yeah, he's ready to take these range duels yet again, but seems like Vision Strikers are biding their time, and there's the Blade Storm pop. 50 health left over on CNED, but luckily Zeke comes through to help out. He will be shut down. The operator of CNED cautious about re-peeking until he gets that heal on up. 1 blade from the Blade Storm would have been enough to take him down, and in fact 1 shot from the Phantom will, but Killez is turning up. Only 1 left alive, and he's in the corner. Mako spotted out. Killez not going to be able to take him down, but Starzo's there for the trade. 7-4. We're coming into the final round of the half, and despite an incredibly slow start from ACEND, they are now putting this map back into contention.
Yeah, we're starting to see some of the stars that, well, we previously knew were there actually come into the server. And as we saw mentioned, like when we saw even versus PaperX, it was a very attacking-sided map. So for ACEND, they get this 5th round. I'm really not that worried for them. They still have a very good opportunity into the second half. Goes 8-4, pistol loss, it's maybe a different story.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And realistically for ACEND at this point, they want to be winning this, follow up with the pistol. And with the way things have been going, that's certainly a possibility. This man here, CNED, has been doing a lot of the damage. is tanking up a couple of the turret shots, dodging, dipping, and weaving around them. But he'll fall back afterwards, giving up the control.
Yeah, he's also got his Blade Storm popped, of course. Last round, might as well get it in early, just in case he needs to use it. Res also available, but I'm looking at that Viper's Pit. Now, this would make me expect that they'd probably end up on a slightly better opportunity to try and put it into place, but I'm actually more looking at the positioning that's currently being held by Marco as well. Like, he's quite deep into mid, and he's dead.
He is being caught. A wise move by Starzo to go and check down below. Now they're looking for something else. Zeke is up above. Gonna be blinding them up as the drone doesn't spot him falling back, and it's going to buy a lot of time, actually. That Lear means he has to check every corner, so he doesn't get to sight and get the tag in. That could be huge, just in terms of delay strategy. But they're moving elsewhere, moving in towards CNED, who's on the site, taking down one, re-aggressing back out. No dash available, but he has got the Blade Storm, and that's exactly what he's using. A 2v5, ACEND looking to close it out with 5, and CNED, he gets all 4. 7-5, ACEND are back in this map.
Yeah, even going to close it out with a Prime Gaming flawless. It was a slow start, an incredibly slow start from the side of ACEND, but with CNED moving from the bottom of the board to the top, that's always going to help you out quite a bit. Come on, we know what this man can do on the attack as well. In fact, it's going to sound weird, but I think he's better on the attack.
I think so, and it's the space and freedom that he's able to find, but the problem is playing up against Vision Strikers, they fight you for that. They don't give it to you for free, and I'm excited to see what they have for us when it comes to their defensive side, because so far, at least on Haven, their defense was a beautiful thing to watch. But you know what? Before we talk about their offense,
is it round 6, right?
Defense. Let's talk about their offense a little bit. I think it's probably round 6. Let's see what Sean has in store for us.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I don't know if it's going to be round 6. I was thinking about round 6, but I think it's a little bit too complex for Mitch's tiny brain. So what I decided to do was go with round 3, actually, the bonus round for Vision Strikers. And I just want to show how quick they are to adapt and all of their little protocols to take these key choke points. So right off the bat, you're going to see RB. He's lining up the recon for this early A push, right? In addition to that, Buzz is going to updraft literally right where the circle is. So they're both focusing right there. The Sage is going to bank a slow off of the ceiling that lands back down on top of the orb. So let's play it real quick.
Watching here.
So there's the recon, the slow updraft into the smoke. But unfortunately for them, Bone Cold actually is the only one on ACEND with frags at this point. And he has enough to get the Viper's Pit down on Vision Striker's bonus round. And let's pause real quick one more time. So there's the pit right there. And for those wondering, Bone Cold pops that on top of pipes. It's a very solid Viper's Pit. So Vision Strikers immediately is reacting by rolling back into middle. This was not the plan at all to begin the round. They leave the turret there to hold the A push. They leave the alarm bot down just in case. And they're really trying to figure out where they should go right now because it's a very odd scenario they find themselves in. The Viper smoke is in mid, and we've talked about this same exact smoke a lot. Every pro team is using this one. So let's roll the clip for a little bit longer here. And you can see Buzz is actually just kind of selling the fact that they're by A, and they're going to leave RB over in this area. And he has his drone still, so he's planning on droning through the Viper's Pit, really trying to sell the fact that there's a lot of people over in this A holding area. And meanwhile, everyone on Vision Strikers is gathering in mid. They're waiting for the toxins to go up again on the Viper, and there they go. They start making their way up mid, and right away, the Sova drones on ACEND, and Buzz, without any hesitation, dashes through his own poison orb, cuts it off, and let's pause right here. So Buzz is so quick to push up and get right in the face of the Sova, takes out that frag, and look how quick the reaction is. The Sage has the wall down, Stax is all over this, ready to push, and you can see there's the drone from the Sova. It is pushing these players back out of the Viper's Pit into this attack. So let's keep rolling the clip. And look at this, the Viper is picking up all the pieces, holding the flank as the 3 players pinch the A site. And now the Sova has made his way into the Viper's Pit. The spike is going down by the Sage. And look at this, even the alarm bot and the turret have been repositioned post-plant. They have the mollies on the bomb. They have an extra arrow hitting the wall. All of the utility for Vision Strikers is absolutely flawless on a bonus round. This is a round where ACEND had a massive advantage economically speaking, and they still got slaughtered. With that being said, I think ACEND has done a great job of bringing this back into their favor, and I actually think that they have an advantage coming into this second half, Mitch and Tom.
Well, I have to say, I'm not too mad about that, because it was still a very good breakdown, even though it wasn't round 6. I mean, I don't know if maybe it was about my brain too small. Maybe Sean didn't quite follow what's going on. We could probably get Shazam in here to break it down, you know? I think there's probably a reason he's still playing. 7-5 as we jump back into the game. Vision Strikers are on the defensive side, and we've seen a lot out of Buzz. I'm expecting to see a lot more.
Well, let's hope so. I think we've had a closer half than maybe expected with the initial start coming out from Vision Strikers, but now we see what they have on defense. Now, Mako's someone who I think has some of the best setups. We've got that same ice wall you mentioned in the last half, trying to just delay the plant as much as possible. And Zeke, he's trying to go around it.
Oh yeah, these guys are looking to just fight ACEND. They're like, oh, you want to use our tricks? Oh! No problem, but Mako takes down 2. A quick double kill for him. That puts Vision... Oh!
What?
A wall bang out of King, and he keeps on looking for it, trying to stop that plant and doing a damn good job. But the drop down means he gets eliminated. Killez on 50 HP will be dealt with just in time. That started to get a little bit dicey. 8 rounds for Vision Strikers as they keep on extending that lead.
Yeah, they do so well to delay ACEND as much as possible, but the time they actually try and go for the plant, the whole squad of Vision Strikers is just ready and waiting to take them down. And well, Mako's shots definitely help. Like, this man is just pulling off ridiculous things. He's one of my favorite players to actually watch on this map in particular, because he has some of the dirtiest Viper setups you're ever going to see, like one-way smokes that you'll have on the A site when he actually plays on that side. And well, for now at least, we're just going to have to see a bit of an investment coming back from ACEND to try and at least make it costly.
Yeah, they really need to do some damage onto the Vision Strikers economy, so I understand why they're throwing their economy at this a little bit more than what we normally see. But ultimately, the cost between a Sheriff and a Marshal, it's not really that much. Right? Extra 150 credits, and for CNED to have the ability to one-shot headshot you on any range, I think that's worthwhile. We'll see if he's able to connect anything with it, though, because he's kind of been hit or miss so far in this match.
Yeah, definitely a lot more hit towards the end of the half, but I definitely see what you mean. It was the Bone Cold show for the first, like, I want to say 7 or 8 rounds, but
absolutely.
We'll see whether or not he is back in form. Now, they're going to get themselves deep into the site, potentially 3 players just waiting within it. The reads from Vision Strikers so far have been spot on, and although they've managed to get 1 kill, is there going to be much more? CNED already tagged desperately low, and RB is not going to allow for any shenanigans. Bone Cold, of course, always good for 1.
As much of an animal as he has been with the pistols in hand, this time around, nothing will be found. We go at 9-5 as Vision Strikers step ever closer to 2-0ing their second series. Paper X was something that we expected. I think most people would have called that as a 2-0. This one right here, though, I mean, it was set to be a competitive game from start to finish, but so far, this has just been dominance out of Korea.
But that's the funny thing. I included myself. I think most people favored ACEND going into this matchup.
Definitely.
Like, they've looked in better form just going off what happened in the earlier matches.
It's making the A for ACEND. I love it.
It's very pretty.
Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous.
Very nice. Hopefully it helps them get some kills.
Yeah, it's like making his own little sprays. We'll get there someday. But look, Vision Strikers don't have much to play with here. It's Spectres for the most part, but they have got numbers stacked up on the site. CNED able to take the opening, Zeke healing up off of it, and Buzz will just back out, but RB still falls. This is man advantage now for ACEND, weaponry advantage too, and the plant's about to come through. They need Stacks to go huge up behind, and he'll be caught by Bone Cold.
One enemy
Bone Cold captures the shark in the flank. And Mako, he might actually just save this. 10 HP. He's managed to get himself a second one.
I'm getting worried, Tom.
I wouldn't even blame him for going for it at this point. It would only be 1 off his ultimate, even if he just died, but an extra kill would be huge for them here. Make this bonus incredibly costly.
What he's doing right now is just waiting for them to make a mistake, though. He doesn't want to throw the weapon away, per se. Wants to see, hey, are these guys going to be over-aggressive? Are they going to give me a chance? Maybe push up behind me? And no, they're not. Now, he's fine to throw that poison orb down because he'd already deployed it earlier, so it's not even going to cost extra economy. He's not going to try to ninja this, right? Yeah, run away. Okay, that's the right call. He's bailing out of here.
Yeah, they'll keep the rifle through. 3 kills really isn't too bad in a round like this, and especially because they lost a couple of players in the last round, actually bringing a weapon through is quite valuable to them as well. Not too far off an ultimate or 2 as well, so Vision Striker's not in a bad spot. But it's good to see ACEND get on the board a little bit earlier this time. A chance for them to really build into things on their attacking half. I'm just waiting to see if they'll actually be able to get an operator, because that's always going to be one of the big things when we talk about the attacking side of ACEND is CNED's operator, even on this side, is incredibly strong. And in fact, there's a game changer a lot of the time.
Yeah, oh, most definitely. But he's not going to have it to start this one off. Playing in with the Phantom.
Revealing area.
Obviously, Bladestorm not quite online for him either. You have the Recon actually showing both players towards the backside, so that's a little bit of information for ACEND. And they're trying to lurk through with Bone Cold, destroying out the Killjoy alarm bot, but there's no re-aggression on the back of it. Vision Strikers fall back. They're looking to actually support this site and just play a heavy lurk inside of middle. Good opening pick by RB. How has he gotten 2 from there? That's the spike down as well. They know that this is a hit, and Zeke can't really do anything to get over, or can he get? I don't think he can get around that wall, no. He's spotted.
Not going to get anything here. Now we are going to see, I'm going to say the Viper's Pit, but it only lasts for a second. 2 kills coming through, and Zeke's the only one left. This is what Vision Strikers have been doing throughout the game. We finally see a victory for ACEND, and then it's a Prime Gaming flawless. They don't lose a single man.
Yeah, well, okay, huge shout out to RB for catching those 2 players on the way through. I think we might have a replay of that one to have a gander at. But overall, the fact that the spray... Okay, here it is. RB, there's one. Oh, it says the wall goes up, and he even connects to C. What? That's nasty, bro. And on top of the ult, through the ult, they take Bone Cold down. Look, this is honestly one of those rounds for ACEND where you're going to sit back and go, okay, there's a few things we could have done better, but at the same time, if you run that back 10 times, they don't hit half the shots they just did.
10-6. Again, Vision Strikers firmly in the driver's seat, and ACEND yet to really show us much other than blips on the radar of their Korean overlords. And, well, in this round at least, there's not going to be a massive amount at all. We've got ourselves a few pistols. Starzo this time picks up the Marshall to try and attempt a little bit of damage. But there's still so much weaponry, utility, and even ultimates close to coming online for Vision Strikers.
It's the right call to fall back here. You don't really want to give these pistols the opportunity for close range fights. Stax is going to be taken down. Already good damage from ACEND as they close in on the site for the plant. Their numbers start to thin out. CNED pulls the Bladestorm, and now this gets a whole lot more dangerous for the side of Vision Strikers. RB, the last man alive. No information on where his opponent might be, but that's exactly what the Recon Dart is for. Revealing up close and showing that he's good to at least close in the distance somewhat. Shock darts, but no drone. A drone here might almost be a round win. I mean, he could pop the Hunter's Fury, but instead, he has to gamble and try to find out where Zeke is. He finds out the hard way that the operator was retrieved. 10-7. ACEND needed something. I wouldn't necessarily say they needed this round, more so the next one, but this is a lifeline.
Oh no, yeah, I genuinely do think that was everything for them. Like, managing to steal one away finally puts a little bit of damage into the economy of Vision Strikers, which was starting to build up to a really scary point. They'll still have a buy in this round, operator and all, but it was one that I just think if it doesn't go their way, you're looking at an 11-6 scoreline. Even if you win the next round, there's a purchase coming back. So ACEND have at least brought this one into contention once again, and it's going to be a very fast take, and CNED has his operator.
Yeah, but they've locked down B, using up the Viper's Pit. Stax is coming through. Does he spot Starzo? No, he doesn't. Not in time. The drone forces Mako out, and now he's being spotted. He's just going to be completely dove upon CNED, shuts down RB's ulti. Mako no longer has the ult behind him, but hey, he's dead before it even falls. This is a disaster of a round for Vision Strikers. They need a big clutch, and it's King coming in with a double, looking for more, and somehow avoiding death. 70 HP left. Turret goes down, and he wants the up. But 2 opponents to take down. And yeah, the Phantom might be the better choice, but it doesn't work out either way. CNED might miss you once, he might even miss you twice, but third time, it's not even lucky. The guy always connects eventually.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever going to be happening, and he now moves himself up, joint top of the board with Mako as well.
Oh, nasty angle.
Just disgusting shots coming out from him, but it definitely, again, was just a little bit too close for comfort. The amount of openers that we saw come through from ACEND, it seems like Vision Strikers really can battle back from any position. The issue now, though, is, well, the exact point I was talking about. They don't have money anymore. So this is where ACEND go from being quite far behind to actually now, well, likely just a round or two, depending on how this one goes.
Yeah, absolutely. They are hot on their heels, and it's going to be a timeout called. Bone Cold's like, guys, are we clapping? Can we? There we go. We've synced it up, boys.
We're getting involved.
That's all we need. Show them that you're still confident, and that you cannot underrate how important that is. I mean, the fact is, right now, all you got to do is keep yourself mentally in it. You know that this is a round you should be winning.
I want to see a bit more movement.
Absolutely, yeah. Feel like Ninja all over again. Yeah. Come on, man.
I'm not seeing
Get those dances out.
I genuinely feel like he's like the dad just sat behind them going, God damn it.
Yeah. Goddamn, guys. You're so good on the server, but why do you have to do this to me?
Oh, God. Well, I want to see what they come out with here, because this was actually ACEND. Like, it was basically a BM pause. They just went, oh, we've won a couple of rounds. Time to do some clapping again. Like, but it doesn't really seem to phase Vision Strikers. It almost gives them the time to talk things through. It's like, here you go, lads. Come up with a new strat.
I think one of the most important things for ACEND here, though, is making sure they've got an airtight game plan up against these pistols, because we've seen it out of some of these guys before, and when Buzz has that Blade Storm to work with, there's a res online for Stacks, and King has got lockdown, things could get very scary. If you give them an opening, they will seize it, and they manage to shut down Buzz. That's the main threat of the round already dealt with.
Still pushing into a stack site, though. 3 players here, CNED leading the charge. Mako's already going to manage to pick off Zeke, so it's one player dropped, but they spot him out. Big round from Bone Cold, and now Stacks. I don't think the res is going to be invested here, Mitch.
No, I don't imagine so. Good attempt by Mako to use his utility to his advantage, hiding in the corner, but luckily CNED was one step ahead of these guys the whole way through. Nothing really to be found by Vision Strikers. They came into the round with nothing, and they go out with more or less the same. It's 10-9 when we see that full buy come out of the defensive side. And again, considering the lead that they had and how the pistols have been going, convincingly in their favor in the early rounds, we need to see more from Vision Strikers when it comes to the late.
Yeah, and it's been a streak as well. For the first time, I think, in this entire series, ACEND actually have credits behind them.
Yeah, like they've hit 3 in a row.
Yeah.
That's happened twice so far, and it's both been on this map.
Yeah, so they're finally getting a little bit of momentum in their favor. CNED, again, could be looking for that opening battle. Now, the same is happening on the other side of the map. Buzz not really seeing any movement on that side. In fact, mid-control seems to be the aim of the game, which, other than the turret, it's not really much watching it, just a passive peek from King.
Little tag going down in middle, but Buzz is going to seize that space. Try to catch them as they cross over. They know now that this is a bathroom split. They know it's a B hit, but they still need to deal with it. Vision Strikers doing a great job, though. Stacks and Mako up close. He barely misses that shot, but Stacks is doing all the damage. 3 kills, res online. And ACEND starting to struggle. They've eventually dealt with that Sage, but the man advantage sits firmly in Vision Strikers' favor. The operator coming through for a peek. Buzz hoping to find a victim, but he's backing off, creating the space. The timing works out well for him, as he's now just tucked in and they have no idea. And, well, Killaz gets shut down anyways.
Oh, it's not going to happen this time, Vision Strikers. They get the purchase and they're straight back onto the board. 11-9, just 2 rounds away from closing this out and making it through to the playoffs. So that is what is on the line today. Neither team up for elimination just yet, but with what are those lower bracket matches, especially within this group, I would be scared, like, for either team. Like, we know that Paper X has looked very strong so far. Supermassive Blaze on their day, I genuinely think could be any team when they're in form. So you want to be getting that first spot, especially because it also means that you dodge some pretty hot teams going in as the #1 seed.
Well, exactly. It gives you that advantage when it comes to playoff time, and absolutely everybody's fighting for that on the international scene. What a great opening for Buzz. ACEND throwing all their economy at this round, and they don't have a res, not only because it's not online, but because that was the Sage that got taken down. That's going to remove the wall, which is a big part of the plant play for ACEND when it comes through. They need something else to rely on, and it's going to be the Viper's Pit.
They'll get themselves into a decent afterplant spot, hopefully for Bone Cold this time. He's not going to be picked out within seconds. Rez still available for Stack, so he could bring back RB, but I believe, well, it's going to happen right now, giving them that man advantage once again, and this is probably the worst ultimate that could be in play right now for Ascend.
Good counter, though. They had the Hunter's Fury. They were ready to use it. The flank comes in a little bit late. Zeke was on low HP and dealt with. Good shot by Buzz, but he has to go inside this ulti, and that's where Bone Cold can thrive. 2 on the board. He needs 2 more, and Stacks will sideswipe it to close. 12-9. Vision Strikers 1 away, and they'll have 3 attempts at it before OT is found.
Oh, they're going to gift over the defusal. Not quite as close as you might have thought, and it's going to be 2 players surviving, so financially they're not in the worst of spots. I'm more interested to see how it's going on the side of Ascend, because that's a couple of rounds in a row now. The streak was ended, and this man is just so annoying to play against. Unbelievable performance coming out from pretty much every single member of Vision Strikers, and well, unfortunately for Bone Cold, he couldn't quite go for the 1v4 clutch.
That was a pretty huge flank by Viper as well, getting up behind. Not quite there. The only thing that I didn't necessarily like was it was a few seconds off when that lockdown went down. If it was delayed 2 or 3, it might have still been in effect coming towards the end of the round, but it didn't matter anyways. They had the crunch, they had the kills, and now they have the advantage with 3 attempts to close out this map and this series, confirming their spot in playoffs.
An early B attempt, but the slows will deny the space, at least initially, for Ascend. It does seem like they're still going to go challenging, and I saw Bone Cold for a second going for a jump peek with the spike. Gave me a little bit of a heart attack, but he's not going to be caught off this time. No real aggression coming in on the A site either. It's a very, very passive position currently at the moment for Vision Strikers.
And it's going to be tough for Ascend to find any openings because they're running out of utility into this round. There's no drone available. There's no flashes, no leers on Zeke. They're going to have to win raw aim duels, and when Buzz is firing the way he is with that operator, it's going to be very difficult to do. Look at this nasty setup on B as well. Mako playing far back, jump spotting, trying to bait them in, and then when they think he's fallen back, that's when Stacks can strike from the side and take them down. This, with 35 seconds left, is a terrible position for Ascend. They need to try and make their way through that choke point, and it is going to be tough unless they deal with Stacks right away. He could be the one to pretty much close this one out right away, but he's going to be spotted. A great dash, a great reaction, and now an opportunity for Ascend to crunch in on the B site.
They've got 15 seconds, though. They have to pretty much run all the way. If the plant is denied at this stage, it could pretty much be game over. Ascend's going to get dropped, and now it's all just on to 1 or 2 players remaining. Are they going to be able to deny? No. Does he have time? It's not happening. The shot dart wins it for Vision Strikers. A truly unbelievable close to the map. Dear Lord, this team.